weeks after a student takes the test. Students must have a
Jacob for giving us in-depth information regarding the difference between dream, safety, and fit schools, and what factors a student may consider when applying to college. Now we'll have Renisha, who is an active member of the information committee in GATS, who will talk to us between the differences of early action and regular decision.
Hello everyone, my name is Renisha Ramprakash and I am a senior at South Forsyth High School. I'm also a tutor in the GATS tutoring program and I'm a lead for the GATS Information Session Committee. I'm also the chair for the Georgia Association of Women in Science and I want to pursue as an astrophysics major in the future. Okay, so since I'm currently a senior at South Forsyth High School, I've been going through the college admission process and just want to share some information that will help both parents and students who will have to get to this point when applying for universities, especially for rising seniors. So what do these terms mean? Early action, deferred, or regular decision. Believe it or not, these are not the only terms you will see when applying for college, either on the common application or the coalition application, and even on the university's individual application, but there are terms like early action 1, early action 2, early decision 1, early decision 2, condition, deferred, denied, restrictive early action, and regular decision. So the start of senior year, when the common application for most universities opens up on August 1st, students will need to add their colleges on the common application. If some universities that they're expecting to apply to are not on the common app, then they would have to apply on the coalition app, since some universities might be on there. For example, UT Austin, Texas is a university that is not on the common app, but is on the coalition app. And there are universities that are not neither on the common app or the coalition, like MIT and all the UC system schools, where the student would have to individually submit on their individual website link. And it's also a good idea to do some research on the universities the junior year summer or even earlier so people have an idea of when to apply for the specific school that students have in mind. Like see what universities have the early decision and early action. And then when applying, the students have to make a decision when they want to submit their application. And this differs for all universities. Most universities have just early action and regular decision, like Georgia Tech and UGA. But some universities, like Emory University, have early decision 1, early decision 2, and then regular decision. So the difference between early action and early decision is where if the student applies for early decision and gets accepted, then that student cannot go anywhere else and is required to go to that school only. Whereas early action is where the student can apply there. And if he or she gets accepted, then that student is not required to go to that school only and can go to any other university where they have gone accepted as well. And they have a choice when applying for early action, so it is not binding. Now, the difference between early decision 1 and early decision 2, or early action 1 and early action 2, is that only the deadlines for submitting the applications differ. So the universities space out the number of applicants they want into 2 separate rounds. Now, the main difference between regular decision and early action is that the students who are already prepared, like they have their optimal SAT or ACT score or that required GPA and are satisfied with their work, usually apply to early action, which has their applications usually due in October or November. Like Georgia Tech and UGA have their early action deadlines on October 15th. Regular decision is where the student applies for the final round in early January, and the students would have to send their mid-year reports, where they would have to request the counselor like a month before, especially since they won't respond during winter break. And most universities will probably take a more holistic review approach than early action. Now I'm going to talk about the terms that the student can expect when applying for the early action round. For instance, I know that when students apply for early action to Georgia Tech or UGA, they get their results around late November or early December. In those letters, it might say you're accepted, you're deferred, or it might even say you're conditioned, and it might say you're denied. So deferred means you're waitlisted for the regular decision round, where the student does not need to reapply on the Common App or Coalition app, or even their individual application, but the universities will tell the students to just submit a form before the regular decision deadline and will be placed with the regular decision applicants. For example, Georgia Tech doesn't do any interviews. They only allow a deferred form that is due in January that allows students to talk more about in detail about their extra accomplishments. And conditioned means that the student is guaranteed transfer to that university starting from their second year in college. They will not be accepted for the freshman year in college, but they will be accepted if they do the transfer pathway from their second year in another university. And denied just means that they will have to apply for the transfer pathway to attend the university their second year of college. So the most common results that high school students get are usually accepted, deferred, or conditioned. There's also another term called restrictive early action. Universities like Harvard and Stanford have a round called restrictive early action, where the students apply in early November, but they cannot apply to any other university in the early rounds. Applicants can only submit one early application, and that is only to that university. And remember that these are just terms that the students should be able to expect and should be aware of when applying to college, and should not feel bad